Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have the review of the HG Kampfer Amazing from the Build Fighter series. This was used by the Meijin Kawaguchi himself from the series, and the Kampfer Amazing itself is kind of my personal favorite from the series as well. It took me a long time to actually get this kit because every time I go to Gundam base, it somehow was always sold out, but I got tired of waiting and waiting, so I just decided to order it from its website, which I usually don't do, but I'm just satisfied with the kit. Now, first of all, I should mention that I do not own the original HG Kampfer, so I cannot make any comparisons, so keep that in mind. Alright, now, so let's get on to the review. Like my usual reviews, we will talk about the components first. So first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously the Kampfer Amazing itself. So I'm just gonna put this stand away and put him in the back, and let's talk about the leftover pieces first. Alright, so here we have like a pile, but first of all, let's go with the obvious. We get some leftover polycaps, nothing too special regarding that. We get one leftover hand covers, which I'm not sure why. I'm not sure which hand is kind of missing. And then we get some leftover parts from the original HG Kampfer. This one, I think these two parts are the parts that's used to store in the bazookas on the back. This one is kind of obvious, which is the the handle for the chain mine, I believe. This one, if I had to guess, I'm assuming these would be the stern first holders or holsters that goes onto the side of the legs, and we have the shotgun holster that goes onto the back of the kit, if I had to guess. I may not have the HGUC version, but I have the Master Grade version, so I do have a bit of an idea what these parts are. And obviously this thing should be the end set, or the end part of the chain mine. And then we get this yellow piece, which honestly, this one, I'm not too sure what this is, but I don't know, maybe this is the part that's supposed to go inside the, the shoulders, like the end tip of these yellow parts. Maybe I think that is the situation, but yeah. And once again, you do get the do get the original shoulders for the Kampfer. And then we get the original backpack, or a backpack cover, I should be, if I have to be more specific, of the original Kampfer. So yeah, so I'm assuming that if you want to, you could make the original HG Kampfer, but in this color scheme if you want to do so. Of course, you don't get the actual weapons of the HG Kampfer, so maybe if you want its original weapons, you might need to invest on another kit. So here is the sticker sheet. Now it may look like a lot, but most of these stickers actually goes onto the equipment, so no need to worry about that. Granted, these white ones that goes onto the head, onto the shoulders, yada yada, I color them in metallic silver or metallic gray. So, and you get 3 Mono Eyes stickers, so just in case if you mess up. And since the Mono Eye doesn't actually move in this kit, I guess they give you 2 more just in case if you want to change the position or have a different position for situations or posing. Alright, so let's talk about equipment. Now this thing does have a lot of equipment, but I'm just gonna make it as simple as possible. So first of all, let's talk about hands. Hands, you get 5 hands, 2 of the multi-purpose hands, 2 trigger fingers that goes on left and right. So this is actually a rare case. We barely see kits that have 2 trigger fingers for each hand. And then we get 1 open hand for the left hand. So that's that. And then we have the amazing weapon binder. Now here we have these. I'm kind of curious on how these work. Now I mean in the series he usually pulls out a weapon from this thing, even a minigun, which doesn't make sense, but I never actually seen him use this thing itself as a weapon, because it definitely works as a weapon as well, according to the manual and stuff. Okay, so these can be also weapons, but these are also purpose of storing weapons, which I will demonstrate later. So you can see all these yellow sections on the side; those are all stickers. So that's why you get a lot of these. So there's 2, 4, 8 stickers per weapon. I mean 8 for each. So 4 for each side, so that's 8, and then 2 on the fronts of those yellow parts. Yes, those are actually stickers. So that's 10 per weapon binder. So that's another one. So that's 20 of them. So that's that. And then here we have the 1 set of equipment. The other one is actually stored in here, which I will show you guys later after I explain the weapons. So the way how the weapons work is that they don't give you each separate weapon. You build up the weapon. Of course, the one that's the exception are these combat knives, which once again we did actually see this being in use, which I don't mind. But the Kampfer Amazing was also seen used using a beam saber with a green blue beam saber hilt and a green beam saber flag. There's even engravings of the original, places where the beam sabers go, and yet they did not give beam sabers for this kit for some odd reason. But anyway, so we have the combat knife, and the combat knife, basically the way how this is that you have these small engravings in there, and then you have two small pegs, and then you just need to clip them on, and you get two of these. I just want to mention you get two of each set, what you see right here. So you have these yellow stickers forward and backwards, so that's another two stickers. So I'm just going to clip it. And this one, you can either store it onto the side of the kit, or, wait a second, or inside the Amazing Weapon Binder, which I will show you guys how that works. So that's that. And then you get the beam pistols. This is the main base. So once again, two stickers, and you get two of these, which is very, very basic. This is just I believe this is one of those things where you just snap two pieces together and that's it. So that's that. And then we have this part, which is technically, I believe, should be the machine gun, the beam machine gun. However, in the show, there was actually a different design. There was like more stuff going on, and I believe the scope was actually on the bottom section. But anyway, this should be like the machine gun mode if I remember correctly. So that's that. So this is how it works. You start with the beam pistol, and then you attach this to here, and then machine gun. Now it may be wobbly time to time, but if you get it correctly, it shouldn't fall off that easily. And then if you have this part, it becomes a beam rifle or beam gun, which is fine. And then if you attach this one, it becomes a long beam rifle, so even longer range. And you have this extra handle with an attached ball joint, so you can hold it with both hands. So that's very nice. And you get these parts, which is to connect the two weapon binders together to make another weapon, which I'll show you guys later, because that's the tricky part. And you can also open these up. The way I did say open, but it's basically, in a nutshell, you're like splitting these apart like that. And here is how you store in the long beam rifle. This is how it works. You basically make the long beam rifle, and this is how you just store it. You just slap it in there, and that's that. And let's say for the leftover piece, let's say you want to store the leftover piece, like for this part and the combat knife. This is how you store. This is how you store it in. You put in the end tip of the normal beam rifle barrel, and then you put the combat knife at the back section of it. So you cannot put the gun and the knife together, which is kind of odd, but yeah. And once again, those yellow sections are a sticker, and that's how you actually store the weapon. So I'm just gonna. And another thing that kind of makes me curious is that now, clearly this is also a weapon, but I've never seen in the anime the Meijin actually using this as a weapon. Usually, like, only to bring out weapons. Anyway, let's get on to the review. Now, the kit is very basic. This is pretty much, in a nutshell, the Kampfer, HG Kampfer, I believe, with like a different style of armor of the front legs, I think. Okay, so let's start with the head. The head is very basic. The only stickers you're going to be using, well, technically 3 stickers if you do use it. You have the mono eye, and then you're supposed to use a white sticker on the top of the forehead, which I did not. Use the metallic gray marker. And then on the antenna, you're supposed to use this. I accidentally scraped off a little bit of paint, but yeah, or marker. So those are the 3 stickers you're going to be using. And for the head articulation, it's kind of not. It's really basic for a kit like this. It can barely go down. It can barely go up because of how the design of the head is. However, if you want to, you could spin the head 360, and it does have the check and neck move, only a little bit. Okay, now let's look at the body. The body, once again, there's not much. Other than the head, the kit does not actually take in much stickers, which I'm pretty surprised. Those yellow parts are separate pieces, and it's connected to a main ball joint. So 360 twist on the body is possible, and you do have some sort of ab crunch going on in there, which brings me the main issue I'm having. it's not fragile, but for some reason the connection is very loose. So that you can see it's just wobbling on its own. Like you can see it's kind of wobbly. It's not like staying in position. And this is where you actually store the combat knife onto the side, which, you know what, I guess I should show you guys like a small example. You have a hole, you have a peg, simple as that, not rocket science. So yeah, kind of odd that it stores onto the pipe section, which actually seems kind of dangerous in terms when you think about it. But yeah, whoops, and there goes. Yep. Okay, I'll get that later. Okay, now let's look at the shoulders. Now the shoulder articulation is pretty good. I mean, pretty basic. It can go forward and backward, which I believe applies to the original Kampfer. And you have not, I wouldn't say exactly a double jointed bend, but it's a bend. But because of the design of the arm, it looks like it goes more than 90 degrees. And you have a 360 twist on the arm, 360 twist on the entire arm itself. And the way how this connects is that it's actually not a ball joint but a peg connection to the arm. So there's a peg coming out from the body or from the joint, and then you connect it to the main arm that has a polycab inside there. And this part, the shoulder armor, is the part that actually uses the ball joint. And once again, this I need to scrape up a little bit more, but yeah, I think I may have over scraped it, but this is also where you're supposed to use those white stickers on the horns on the side, because these things are actually separate pieces. And that yellow section you see, those are not stickers, those are also separate pieces, which is very nice. Hands are your typical ball jointed hands, and on the arm itself, they do have holes here, which I assume is for like customization purposes, because there's no use of these for now. And then the arm can go almost 90 degrees to the side as well. So that's that. Now let's look at the backpack. Once again, the backpack is one of the main different parts. You get a very more Federation-ish looking backpack instead of the roundish one. And these ones are actually stickers. These yellow ones are stickers. So that's the only part. And they're mostly a flat surface, so that's why I decided to use it. Thrusters, they don't, wait a minute, they don't move. Again, there are 3 thrusters, and you have this part which you don't actually use at all in this kit as well. Okay, let's look at the legs and waist. The waist, nothing too special. There's no front skirt, back skirt. Well, yes, yeah, no back skirt or side skirt because it's not present. The legs, it can go forward 90 degrees up front, backward as well. Now, the way how the legs are connected are ball joints, so it cannot go to the side 90 degrees. And the leg, because of the design, because of the thrusters on the back of the size, it cannot go more than that. So just letting you guys know. I assume it can go a little bit more if you take this part off. I'm just gonna say that. And the feet are typical ball jointed feet. And once again, these yellow parts on the front legs are separate pieces. So once again, other than the one on the backpack, the color separation seems pretty good on this kit. Or I'm not sure if color separation is a thing or a term that I should be talking about this regarding this one. But once again, the only issue I'm having is this. Now, it's not weak. I mean, it's not fragile. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just the polycab ball that connects the ball joint is kind of more a bit wider or maybe loose on mine. But I just want those who have this kit, just let me know. Okay, now let's look at how it holds the equipment. So first of all, I'm just gonna show you guys how the main weapon works. I'm just gonna show you guys this one. The way now you could just like, I don't know, slap it in onto the multi-purpose hand, but it's gonna be loose. So that's why they give you 2 trigger fingers for each hand. So the way how this works is that it's not your typical where you just separate the hands and reattach the weapon. You just slide it in, and there you go. It has it. So for mine, the left hand is kind of, I mean, the right hand is kind of feels a little bit loose than the right one I have over here, but I don't know. So my left one is kind of more has a more firm grip compared to the right one for some reason. But once again, once you get it on the right pose, you don't need to worry about it, and you can actually use that moving handle to make it hold it with 2 hands if you want to do so. Of course, getting it in the right position is kind of tricky, but once you get it, it looks pretty good like that. Since it's on a ball joint, you can totally see that you don't need to worry about anything breaking or like forcing or stressing the kit. So that's pretty much it. So if you can hold this weapon, you can pretty much hold anything of the other 3. So basically you're holding the main beam pistol handle. So that's how it works. Okay, I'm just gonna pull off that hand, and then this is how the backpack connects. Now, if you buy the amazing weapon binder that's sold separately, once again as an option part, you can attach these to the side of a leg, so you can have 4 weapon binders that was seen in the episode where the amazing camper was fighting the gym sniper K9. So that's that. Oops. And most of the time, this would be in on the backpack. You have these 2 holes, which actually does have polycams inside there. Just attach them. Now the connection is kind of firm, um, which is, I'm saying that's a good thing. It's not that firm as like the Ingram kit that broke itself, but yeah. So once you have the backpack on, the backpack looks extremely like large, or not. I mean the backpack, but the weapon bind, they look extremely large, and they are kind of heavy. So time to time you might have some balance issues. But most of the time, if you get it on the right position, it shouldn't be a problem. Now, because of the weak or not fragile, but loose waist section, most of the time the kit's gonna be like flipping over like that, sometimes. So just keep that in mind. So if you want to fix that, you should, like, I don't know, maybe paint it or apply more stuff on it. Okay, so finally, come on, I'm gonna take these parts out again. Oh, and if those who are wondering of how the combat knife holds up, it's not that great, because where is that actually? Oh yeah, I've dropped it. So we have the combat knife right over here. Once again, there's no hole or peg system going on here. So once again, you just attach it to the hand, you just slide it in, and that's it. So it's going to be extremely shaky time to time like that. So yeah, not that great. And you get this piece, which is meant to connect the amazing weapon binders together to make another weapon. So here we go. I believe this is the way how it works. So basically, you have holes here, and then you use the pegs that's on the amazing weapon binder, and voila, you have the weapon. And this is how it works. And once again, I don't think in the anime they actually use this weapon. And this is the only weapon that requires you to do the annoying take off the hands, reattach it. So because this thing actually has a peg and hole system going on. So you attach the hand and attach the other side. I don't know, if I could be wrong, so if he did actually use this in the anime, please let me know, because I don't really remember him using it. Now, the problem is that this thing is kind of heavy, so I suggest like you take out everything that's inside here for to lose weight, or maybe at least keep the barrels outside so you can actually see those, and then just reattach it. Now, because of the weak waist, mine's like falling down like that. You can see it's like falling down, which again, it's kind of a heavy weapon, but with the right position, right pose, you can kind of pull this off, right, like this, in a way. So once again, yeah, kind of heavy, so keep that in mind. Anyway, that was pretty much it for the amazing Kampfer. Once again, this is like my personal favorite suit from the series. The only issue that you're gonna have is kind of like balance issues, because not of the legs, definitely the legs are not the issue, but mostly the kind of the loose or weak waist section. Once again, when I mean weak, it's more of loose. It's not fragile. So you're gonna need to fix that if you want to. Anyway, other than that, it's a very good kit with a lot of playability. So I would definitely recommend those who are like a fan of the Kampfer itself, or like if you are like a fan of the character or whatever. Anyway, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the HG Kampfer Amazing. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more kits to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. And also, if I made any mistakes, please let me know. Until then, see you guys next time.